Ludo no? Princess Remedy was created during a game jam that raised funds to fight against Ebola in 2014. It was a charity drive hosted on Humble Bundle, where several game developers rushed to create a new game within 4 days. The Ludosity team split into two groups. Nils and Simon went on to develop Fists of Healing, while Anton and Remar worked on Princess Remedy in the World of Hurt. The game used concepts by Anton that were made before the game jam, and were expanded upon on the whiteboard. The game's graphics wasn't made with a specific console's limitations in mind. Rather, Anton gave himself certain constraints to force himself to be creative and try new things. As a result, he decided to go for the retro look, using one color per 8x8 pixel block for the sprites and tiles. He completed the graphics within the first 2 days, as Remar worked as the head programmer for the game. Him and Simon went on to program for 32 straight hours, with Remar being able to implement 64 NPCs, 49 regular battles, a final boss, and a save feature that was put within the last hour of the game. Haku himself composed the music for both titles. He stated that he wasn't trying to emulate the NES, but rather use samples made from both the NES and the Game Boy, disregarding any limitations those consoles would have had. He was very much into jazz since Card City Nights had just come out. The game proved to be immensely popular. It uses a JRPG-like overworld, where the player can travel to towns and talk to several NPCs. The objective of the game was simple. A fellow healer was sent down to cure the denizens of Heartland, but never made it back. So Queen Emilia sends her child, Princess Remedy, to find out what happened and heal everyone in the process. The player walks around different towns speaking to the people. Those who are sick explains what's wrong with them, which can range from having colds to suffering from sick burns, yo. The player then engages in healing mode, where they take out enemies representing the person's condition. The game mostly takes place in a single room, where Remedy walks around in 4 directions and automatically fires a projectile where she's facing. She can also toss a finite amount of flasks to damage enemies within the small blast radius. Obstacles gradually become destroyed by both Remedy and the enemy's fire, widening the area for both the player and the enemy to traverse. Defeating all the enemies heals the NPC and rewards the player with a heart, which increases max HP. These hearts are also used to pass gates to travel Heartland. Further hearts and power-ups can be collected through chests, being hidden behind passable walls. Idledo and Tipsy can also be seen, with Idle suffering lack of raft sickness. The final boss pits Remedy up against That Guy, a potato-looking creature conceived by a former intern of Ludosity, the aforementioned Simon who worked on Fists of Healing with Nils. He was created as an item to be used by the player in a prototype for Idledo 2. The player would place it down on the ground and have it take the shape of Idle, who would then mimic the player's moves. The idea never went through, however, since it may have proven too complex to implement. That Guy, however, would be later included as a secret boss in Idledo 2, and is even used as a placeholder model for Battle Right, a game Simon would later go on to help develop. That Guy was described by Simon as a cookie dough looking being created by a wizard who was creeped out by how it mimicked his moves. As for why he was given that name, Simon states, "When people would playtest him and ask what it was, I would just go, 'Oh, you know, it's that guy there. It's him.' This particular fight strays from the norm, where the player must take out all the different sicknesses that ails the prince before the room transition upwards to take out more. The transition effect that leads the player higher up is an homage to Final Fantasy VI's final battle against Kefka, where after wiping out the targets, the party is taken further up as well. The boss tower that acts as That Guy's throne was designed by both Remar and Anton, drawing on the whiteboard together, adding onto each other's ideas before Anton refined it to fit the retro look of the game. Once That Guy has been defeated, the player can choose to rule the newly named Heal Land and marry any NPC. The player can even opt to marry an empty chest, which prompts Remedy to speak her only line of dialogue in the game, where she says she climbs inside after a hard day's work. A reference to this is made in Slap City, where Remedy sits on an empty chest that eventually closes on her. The Ludosity team later ported this game over to Steam and released it for free. The reception was overwhelming. The game garnered over 1,000 positive reviews. Due to the overwhelming demand, the team decided to work on a sequel. This time, however, the team decided to create a new engine on Unity, since the original was created via a dated Game Maker engine and was what Remar knew best for faster production during the jam. The team had to create all new assets in this new engine and included new features. Princess Remedy in a Heap of Trouble was released on Steam in 2016. The game is set as a prequel. This time Remedy is sent by Washaloft to head down to Heartland and take out the boss towers that have sprung up, making the people sick. One new mechanic is the dating system, where Remedy can go out with any NPC that isn't sick and gain new abilities that can be used in healing mode, replacing the standard flask. Certain abilities are even used in Slap City, like the laser in Mines. Like before, certain NPCs from Ludocity's previous titles make cameos, like Business Casual Man, Paranoid Fish, Hype Snake, and everyone's favorite, Strongman. A bonus feature that was implemented was a dancing minigame that the player can perform when they take their date to a ball at the end of the game. The track that plays is based off the NPC, which results in a large track listing for the title. The player can even dance by themselves, prompting Remedy to say that even a princess must know how to dance alone. Card art for the game's Steam cards depicts unique art of Remedy wearing unique outfits based on her dates. The Rave outfit in Slap City is a reference to a Steam card where she can be seen wearing the same dress when dating Rave from the town of Misspelled Birds. There's even a secret first-person shooting mode that the player can access by inputting a secret difficulty. The final battle has Remedy making a final stand against Mentonum, an unknown entity whose battle is reminiscent of that guy's in the previous entry. That guy can also be encountered as a secret optional boss, where defeating him requires Remedy to knock him off his throne. Though the game did receive positive reception, it didn't sell well, as revealed in the Ludocity podcast back in 2016.
Then we thought, okay, so we're gonna make a bunch of episodes. So we spent some time making sort of an engine for it in Unity, so we now have the capacity to make more episodes quite fast.
However,
didn't really sell that well.
No.
Didn't really warrant an episode 3, I think. But we'll see. We might do it just because it's so fast.
Princess Remedy also makes a couple minor appearances in It'll Do Too. She appears on a cardboard cutout that It'll can pose in. She also appears in one of the secret gallery pics that the player can see. One of the characters from Fists of Healing can also be seen in the corner. Card City Nights received a Valentine's content update shortly after the release of World of Hurt on Steam. It features 2 new NPCs, with Seal of Quantity known as Multifarious Mammal, and Camila known as Rock Enthusiast. The content update also included 1 new booster pack, starring characters and enemies from the Princess Remedy game. Card City Nights 2 also features characters from the new franchise. Val Enberg appears as the Speedy One, Strangle Swan as Dr. Strangle, that guy who is titled Potatoid Prisoner, and Mentonum as Mind Parasite. And the medical bay also features Frolin, known as Polite Student, along with Holodoc, a hologram based on Princess Remedy that is projected from a device created by Polite Student. An NPC reveals that Polite Student based the hologram's AI on her ex, after she was devastated from a particularly bad breakup. Princess Remedy is featured on several cards as well, with the common card healing the player for 1 HP with every card that's placed once activated. The demon version steals a mana token, damages the opponent, and heals the player, and the Dance Party legendary card is able to activate any 2 cards. And for a final bit of trivia, Ludo know that the fellow healer sent down in World of Hurt was actually Remedy's ex, Frolin? She admits the breakup is the reason why she was unable to heal the people, and lets Remedy try to heal her broken heart, which pits the player against the toughest enemies in the game. Some of Slap City's script and story mode might be a hint that Frolin might be an upcoming fighter in Slap City. For more information on this speculation, you can check out my previous video, where I was proven wrong about the 8th fighter, but I still think played as Frolin though. You can also check out my previous Ludo Know on Jenny Fox. And hey, if you like it, you can help me out by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video to whoever you might think is interested. I also wanted to thank Tenkenston for helping me get the cute clips that was used in the beginning of this video. I also wanted to thank everybody in the Ludocity Discord as well. We just hit the 1-year anniversary for when it was publicly open for everybody to come in, so yeah, thanks a lot guys, I just really enjoy the community, man. What I don't understand is how is moose a misspelled bird? It's just an entirely different... Oh, it's supposed to be a goose, not a moose. Wow, it took me 14 hours of playtime to realize that.